Hey there, how are you? My name is Catherine Storing. I am so excited that you have decided to take advantage of the Teach What You Already Know and Make Money teaching. This is a brand new teaching. I haven't taught this before. I'm excited that you have said yes to the invitation, and I know that you're going to learn a lot. If you're here, it's because you have something that you want to do that you know requires time and resources, right? And you are trying to figure out, how do I gain more time? How do I gain resources? Well, the answer is teaching what you already know to other people. But how do you do that? Well, that is exactly why you're here and exactly what I'm gonna be teaching for the next couple days. So this is a series of teachings that you're gonna receive every day or every other day or so, depending on when you request this training. But I want to take you step by step to the process, because this is going to be like nothing I have ever done before. Maybe probably something that you have never done before. So make sure that you are in a comfortable place, that you are in a quiet place, and that you're able to take notes and really absorb this training. I will also recommend that you watch them once or twice, because this is going to change your thinking. It's going to challenge some of the things that you have been doing, but more than anything, it's going to really give you the tools that you need so you also can teach what you know and make money. Again, you're here because you want to have more time and more resources to do what you have been called to do. That's exactly what I wanted, and that's what we're going to do here. I'm excited for you. Let's get started. Awesome. Now that we have that welcoming and the details out of the way, let's get right into this. So let me tell you, first of all, why I was awakened. Why did I decide to do this when I was doing something else already? Well, it all happened a few months ago. I went to a conference, an amazing conference. I was not expecting that this was going to happen, but that's when the good things happen, right? When you least expect them. So I'm at this conference and people are doing all these things, right? So I was always a believer, but I was raised in a very conventional, very traditional church, very traditional. And this conference was full of non-traditional people, and they were doing non-traditional things. And I was loving it left and right? I was like in my element. I was absorbing everything. But it just dawned on me, as they were praying and prophesying and doing all these things, they were in their element, and to them, it was business as usual. Nothing new, nothing different. They've been doing that their whole lives, no big deal. And they didn't think it was a big deal. But everybody else in the audience, they were losing their minds. They were so excited. They were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And everybody was just loving it. They didn't even want to leave at the end of that. And it hit me. It hit me partially. It hit me while I was there, right at the very end. And my spiritual mother happened to be there. She was one of the ones that closed the conference. And of course, she's amazing. And I leaned on her shoulder and I said, you do know that many of the things that happen here, you have been doing for a long time. This is easy for you. It is not easy for everybody else. Like, don't take that for granted. And then I had to go on and explain to her what that meant, because she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, you think that speaking in tongues and laying hands on people and prophesying and being able to preach in a powerful way as a woman of God, that is not something that everybody's able to do. And she was blown away by that. Just like, oh my God, Catherine, you're so right. So I left the conference, went on to the place where I was staying, and God began to really drill that deep into me. And I'm like, okay, if that's true for her, what is true for me? And then I began to think about the things that I know how to do. And then I'm like, okay, well, I can write books like nobody's business. I can create courses like nobody's business. It takes me no time whatsoever. Like, it's easy for me, okay? And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's easy for me. That's my gifting. That's like my talent, the thing that I'm able to do. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's it. Just because it's easy for me, it doesn't mean that it's easy for everybody else. And then I got this burden on the inside of me. I got this thing that said, Catherine, you need to teach this to other people. Not just writing books and creating courses, which I do, but teach them how to figure out what their easy is. And everybody has an easy. Trust me. By the time you finish this training, you're going to know exactly what your easy is. And I began to work right away. It was the middle of the night and I just couldn't stop. I began to write, I began to work, because I realized that Everybody needs this. The same way that I'm called to do amazing things in other countries, in other places, to write other books and help another amazing people write books, I need time for that, and I need resources for that. And me teaching things like this is what has created this time and resources for me. So I began to work, and I just began to just realize how long it took me. And that's the other thing. How am I gonna connect with people that wanna teach their easy, right? How am I gonna able to help do that? I'm like, well, I have well documented my process of how long it took me to write my first book. Like, if you have seen me on social media, if you haven't, you can just go look it up. I have tons and tons of videos where I talk about how it took me 20 years to write my first book. And I know I don't look a day over 25, I know, but I am. I really am. So it took me over 20 years to write my first book, and the struggle was real. I don't know if you ever tried to write a book, but it can be hard. At least it was for me. It was extremely hard for me. And I struggled for so long, and now that I'm not struggling, it's easy to forget. It's easy to be like, oh, now I have a system, I have a process, I have a course, and I have all these things, right? It's not hard anymore. It's almost like I forgot what it was like when it was hard for me. And now that it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal because many, many people don't know how to do it. So that's where I connect with people struggling. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to be sharing with you, because it really is going to make a big difference when you connect with the people that you're going to be teaching. And again, throughout the next few days, you're going to be receiving more content, helping you and showing you exactly how to do just that. I can almost hear your questions and your thoughts. Well, that's great for you, Catherine. That's very exciting for you. What does that have to do with me? Well, right? This is why you're here. So now I want you to think about you. Imagine if you could take that concept for yourself and think for a few minutes about what is it that you already know how to do. And it can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be MIT worthy. MIT reference because I'm in Boston. It could just be something simple that is simple to you. I'll give you the example of my sister, who is an amazing, I don't want to call her a decorator, but she's great with spaces. And she could do it in a minute. She'll look at a space and she'll move something a millimeter, and it will make all the difference in the world. It's easy for her. She knows what to buy. She knows how to organize it. She knows how to maximize the room. And she does it with my office quite often. It's easy for her. She doesn't even think about it. It's not easy for me. I know how to buy this stuff. I know how to put it in a room, but I just put it in a room. I don't really know. Imagine if that were you. Imagine if you could take what you know. Maybe this is your gift. And hopefully that will be great if it is, right? Because lots of people like me need you. We need you badly. So please know that. Imagine if you learn how to package that. Think about it for a second. If you can package your knowledge in such a way that you could sell it to other people easily. People just pay you for it. Now you're not worried about money anymore. Can you let's just go into dreamland for a moment when you're not worried about money. Maybe you're spending a little time worrying about money and having no time. Maybe you're a slave to work. Maybe you have to have a job and a part-time job. Some people have a job and 2 part-time jobs, and still they're struggling, and still they're not making any ends meet. So let's say that you are in a situation similar to that, or in a place how you don't want to be financially, and imagine the flip side of that. Imagine if money is no longer a concern. Go on, close your eyes for a moment and think about it. You live in a place where money is not an issue. When you go to the store and you need to buy something and you don't look at the tag and agonize for minutes, thinking, do I buy this or do I pay a bill? Imagine if you're in that place where if you want to go on a trip for Christmas, you can just take your whole entire family and go and not worry and be able, knowing that when you come back, everything is going to be perfectly okay and taken care of. Imagine if you had all the time in the world. For me, I am called to the country of Haiti, an amazing island that I love, and I'm excited about the work that I'm getting to do there. And imagine maybe you have a missionary's heart, and you really want to do missionary work, and that takes resources for sure, because it's a lot of work. Imagine if you were able to do that. If you had the resources to do that. Or maybe you don't have the desire, but you know someone that does, and you would love to bankroll them. You'll be able to just write a check and say, listen, I see your heart. I believe in what you're doing. It will be my pleasure to send you out into the world for you not to worry about money, where you know that every month that's going to be there. Can you imagine that? It just makes me excited just thinking about that, right? I love it. I remember when I had my corporate job and I would pick up my daughter from school. It was flexible enough that I could pick her up in the middle of the afternoon, but then I would have to leave her for a couple hours. And I worked 5 minutes away, but I hated that I had to leave her. If I had the resources, or like now I work from home, I go pick her up still, but I come home and I stay home. You know, I wish I could explain to you how that feels. Now, I don't dread picking her up, knowing that I have to leave her. Now, I pick her up, and I know that we get to stay home together. Granted, she's a teenager now, being a teenager for a while. So she might want to spend time with me, but I know I'm here. I know if she needs something, she'll have me, and I can make meals for her. And like today, we're going on a movie premiere. You know how when you go buy movies and you can go the day before? Well, that's what we're doing today. And that's at 5 o'clock, which means that we have to leave the house around 4:30. I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a regular job. But because I'm the boss, I get to do that. I get to decide that we're going to go to the premiere and pay a little more and have her watch the movie before anybody else, when any of her classmates gets to watch it. And that is because I'm teaching what I know and I'm making money at it. And I hope that you can feel my enthusiasm. I hope that you can feel what I'm trying to tell you, that it's possible. This is what's possible. This is a life that you can live where you have enough time and resources to do the things that you want to do. How does that sound? Does that sound like something like, wow, Catherine, that sounds amazing, but how do I do that? One of the key things that I learned is how to tell your story to those people, okay? So tomorrow, you're going to get a video from me. So make sure that you stay tuned, look out on your email inbox. You're going to get an email when I'm going to teach you exactly how to tell your story. It's all about connecting with your audience, connecting with the people that you want to help. Because yes, you're going to make money, but in reality, what you're doing is helping people and being rewarded from helping people. And there's nothing wrong with that. So tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to tell that story, how to connect with your audience, okay? And tell them that you are the person to teach them. How does that sound? Awesome, right? I think it does. So thank you so much for watching this first training. I hope that I got you excited and open up your mind a little bit about what's to come and what's possible. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we have been stuck for so long that we forget what's possible. And I want you to remind you. So please watch this again. I want you to get excited about this and remember that you have amazing things to teach that other people don't know about, that they need, and that you can teach them and you can show them. Okay? So I'll see you tomorrow where I'll teach you how to connect with your audience. And the audience is just people that you want to serve, people that you want to connect with, and tell them who you are and why you are the perfect person to teach them what you know. Sounds good? Awesome. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, leave me a comment and let me know how these first training made you feel. Just let me know if it's awakened something in you. Just leave me a comment and I will respond to them for sure. Because I want to know if this is doing what I wanted to do, which is encourage you and get you excited about teaching others and do it in a way that is easy for you, because it can be. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.